and welcome to Transcribe, a New Works Festival. This is the first festival of this scale that Genderfuck has produced, so thank you all for being here to support trans art. The shows you're about to see will be about 2.5 hours long total, like the whole night, not just one. First, you're seeing Burn My Body Before They Find It by Perse. We'll have a little intermission, about 15 minutes, and then we'll do Sign of the Traveler by Anthony Whitaker. This performance is a labor of love by all the many trans and queer people who have poured their creative energy into this. If you'd like to help support us to continue creating trans art across the city, there's QR codes on your tables and on our website, so donate. Make more trans art happen. We need y'all to keep making this happen. So yeah, enjoy the show.
Spontaneous human combustion isn't real. Yet.
So, Luna just brought in cupcake kebabs because she's trying to be more culturally diverse with her desserts, which is cool, I guess. But you can't just put a skewer through a cupcake and say it's Middle Eastern inspired, because it's just as thick. I mean, you don't see me calling corn dogs.
God, cupcake kebabs, that sounds like total hipster bullshit. And like,
what? What was that? Why do you have a lighter?
Reasons.
Oh,
don't freak out.
No, that is so dangerous.
No, come on,
not to mention illegal.
Okay, well, technically it's not illegal because I didn't buy them in the district.
Then you have multiple?
Well, they're not exactly sold separately, you know.
No, I wouldn't know, Eris, because I do not buy lighters because they are so dangerous. So what are you doing with them?
Okay, first of all, relax.
Not relaxed. Impossible to be relaxed.
Well, then stop completely freaking out then.
I can dial it back by 35%.
That's good enough.
Explain.
I just like looking at them.
Explain sanely.
I am sane, Joe.
No, you are not, because sane people do not buy lighters and light lighters just for the sake of looking at lighters. What the fuck, Eris?
35%?
35%.
Okay. So I'm not 100% sane, but who is? I like how fire looks. I don't like what it does, obviously, because I'm not trying to burn anything. Like, I have a whole glass of water here, just in case.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. Which is kind of why I was trying to make sure that you didn't, find out.
You're lighting lighters in our dressing room instead of at home like a smart idiot.
No, I am a smart idiot because my apartment's fire alarm is ancient and Luna just installed high-tech ones here. So, if anything went wrong, which it's not going to, the system would douse everything. It is fine. It's chill. You're safe.
I'd be safer if you weren't using lighters in our dressing room.
And you'd be safer if you didn't wear headphones when you walked alone at night, but you still do that.
Well, you could get fined if you get caught.
Yeah, but you're not gonna snitch.
Bitch.
Snitch.
I'm not a snitch, but you're a bitch.
I can live with that.
Just be safe.
I will. I promise.
And don't do it when I'm here.
Okay. Although...
No!
Okay, it could. Like, help you overcome your fear.
No, my fear is perfectly rational. It does not need to be overcome.
Yeah, I know. Fire bad. But, like... Joanna, you can't even be in the same room if somebody accidentally burns popcorn. If you are, you totally freak out. What if there's a real fire? What if you're in danger? What if you need to run and you see the fire and you can't?
Light it.
Really?
Light it. Light another one.
I will.
Carefully.
Okay. I'll put it over the water. If you tell me to put it out, it's out. It is.
It is? Sort of pretty. put it out. Hello? Yeah, it's Joanna. Yeah, that's me. It's for Yana. Yes, her. I'm her sister. Younger sister. Wait, I'm sorry, did you say monthly? Huh, no, that's not right. The calls are supposed to be allowed weekly? No, weekly. Well, why would they be monthly when her sentence is... It's weekly. Check the record. See? Good. Weekly. So is she available? Yeah, yes please. Put her on. Hey, Yana. Yeah, doing okay. Agency's been good. Funny thing happened the other day. So Luna, yeah, the boss. Yeah, her. So she's been bringing in all these desserts to really hammer in the point that models shouldn't have to starve themselves for beauty, and that she's fostering a healthy environment, yada, 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 which is cool, I guess. But today she brought in these mochi ice cream things, which are fine on their own, but she decided to skewer them so that she could call them Middle Eastern inspired, which they are not. They're literally Japanese. And since she put a stick through them, the ice cream got everywhere. And of course, Eris went to town on it because they are physically incapable of eating anything without making a mess. And oh, with the exploding cream horns, yeah. No, I forgot about that. That was my 13th birthday? No, definitely. I could never see a donut without cringing. No, it did not shoot out of Eris' nose. That's a total exaggeration. It did not! No, they only told you that so that they could impress you. I'm pretty sure they had a crush on you in middle school, but I still can't get them to admit it. They totally did. You were the cool high school delinquent. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what was... Right. So... Eris got ice cream all over their face, and Peyton, she does makeup and stuff, started freaking out about staining, so now Luna has scrapped the desserts and is bringing in veggie platters without hummus, which is actually Middle Eastern. Yeah. No way. Oh, a baby squirrel? That's so cute. Wait, seriously? No, come on! Give me the details! Not those details. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think normally I'd advise against a jailbird romance, but at this point I think you just gotta do what makes you happy. I mean, what have you got to lose? Yeah, 4 weeks. I really think there's a chance. I think, yeah, I've been doing a lot of research and talking to the lawyers and, no. No, Yana, I don't care about the fees. I don't. It's for you. Well, I can't promise anything in case it... Already? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Talk to you next week. Love you, Yana. Yeah, bye.
No, it's too short. It's too bright. Oh my god. Absolutely not.
Hello to you too.
What? Hi.
Well, I thought these were in storage.
Yeah, Luna brought them out for me.
For what are you doing?
I'm looking for a dress for Mom.
And why does she need one of your old outfits?
To look good, duh.
What?
Did I forget to mention that she died?
You might have left that part out.
Dad finally took her off life support.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, about time.
I know, right?
15 years.
Too long.
Like, the car crash did most of the work. Just let her die already.
Yeah. You need help picking something out?
Please? Dad wants something that's high quality, and none of this is right for her. And this is kind of a big deal because she's gonna be in this forever, and I don't want to mess this up because, like, what if it doesn't fit her? Or what if he doesn't like it? Or what if she wouldn't like it? Which, I mean, I guess it shouldn't matter, but it does. I am not a fashionista, Joanna. I do not pick the clothes, I just wear them.
Paris?
Yeah.
Breathe.
Breathing. Unlike Mom.
You got this! Your dad is like so much worse at fashion than you. Remember his short shorts phase?
Oh, vividly. I shoved your sister into a mud puddle for calling him a DILF, and then she threw me in the pool.
Wait, I forgot about that.
Yeah. After I got dried off, I kept trying and failing to shove her like she'd done to me. That girl is strong. She still lift weights?
I don't know. You need to pick out a dress for your mom?
Yeah, right. Honestly, I'm just so tempted to buy something and tell Dad that I wore it because he would not know the difference.
And your mom would forever be clothed in a symbol of your decease.
I know, which is why I'm not gonna do that, but what does it even matter to him that it's something I've worn?
The way I see it, it's like she'll be wearing her wedding ring. That's from him. And an outfit that used to be yours. It's from you. And she'll have these pieces of her family with her forever. It's sweet.
Yeah, well, it is not gonna be sweet if she's wearing this.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Don't put those images in my head.
Yeah, no, I don't want them either. I actually regretted it as soon as I said it. God, please help.
Yeah, we'll do. So how's your dad doing?
I mean, like, not great. But it's not like it was a surprise.
Yeah.
God, I wish he'd just given me a little bit more time. I have to have something picked out so I can ship it to him by tomorrow.
Wait, when's the preservation start?
This weekend?
That's fast.
Isn't it always? Hey, what are you doing on Sunday?
What's Sunday?
The memorial.
Oh, sorry, I have to wax my dog. Of course I'm coming. You don't have to.
Hey, thanks. Wax your dog?
It was the first thing I thought.
How
of.
is that? Fucking weirdo.
Whatever. So, you heading out early or something to help your dad?
Yeah, that's the plan if I can get it cleared with Luna.
She'll understand.
Of course you will. Hey, do you want to ditch work early and come with? We go together anyways, and I know that my dad misses you.
Yeah, I miss him. I've been meaning to tell him about this documentary about bog mummies. He'd love it.
I'm sure he would, considering every single time I talk to him, he will not shut up about the new preservation exhibit at the History Museum. He would much prefer dragging you there than me.
Yeah, I'd go with him. Your dad's awesome.
He is lame.
You're lame.
No, you're lame.
What are you, 4?
You started it!
You're literally 4 years old.
Whatever.
So when are we heading out?
Next Thursday. I'll book a hotel after I talk to Luna.
But hotel?
Yeah. I am not splurging, but don't worry, I won't get like a ski.
What about your dad?
What?
Well, can't we just stay at your house with him?
No. I am booking a hotel. It's fine.
Eris, I don't think that.
We are not staying at his place.
Well, aren't we going over to help?
And we don't need to be in that fucking house to do that because I'm not going back to that fucking house. And if that's a problem with him, he can just deal with it because he's the one who decided to take Mom off of life support after I moved out.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Because you don't.
Just drop it.
I just think that maybe if.
I am not staying there. If you want to snuggle with my dad and the corpses, go ahead. Joanna, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need someone there, okay? I need you there. I cannot spend another night in that house, but I do want to help Dad, and I know you do too. And honestly, we both know you're going to be much more help to him than me. please?
I'll find us a hotel.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are literally the best.
But you're paying for it.
Deal. You do remember that my dad is incapable of cooking and he constantly burns food, right?
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that. That's a big no.
Big enough to pay for the hotel?
You wish.
Oh my god, yesterday's shoot was actually a nightmare. You know, I think I'm glad Mom's dead because I do not want to be around for day 2 of James. Like, just because you're the designer doesn't mean that you know more about lighting than the actual photographer. Like, did you see the way that he was micromanaging Mara? Well, you know, the cloud dress can't have too much light in the shot because it's a cloud dress and it's supposed to block out the sun and it's supposed to represent the sorrows of those who've been overshadowed. Man, shut up. Nobody needs to hear your little comments about how we look less pretty in the dresses and how nothing can compare to their beauty. And also we should shave our arms. Like, not our armpits, our fucking arms. There's a kid in that seat. I should probably stop swearing, right?
Right.
And like, you know, Luna is normally so good at finding us good people to work with, but she dropped the ball this time. Maybe this is secretly her revenge for us leaving early. Wouldn't it be wild if she had this secret vindictive side that nobody knew about and she secretly hated us all? Okay, well, like, obviously I'm kidding. I don't know, dealing with the Jameses? Whatever, you know what I mean. Dealing with those kinds of people, it just makes me like so sick of the industry. And like, we have it good. Luna's great. We don't have to starve ourselves. And most of the shoots are done at the agency, but I don't know. I want to do something. God, I should have stuck it out with that chem degree. Dad was right. Do not tell him I said that, Kay? You know what, or maybe do, it actually might cheer him up. God, I should have stuck it out. Even if I'd ended up at the agency, at least I'd have more options. And like, the classes weren't, okay, well, the classes were crazy hard. And like, the teachers were always super annoyed when I talked in class, like, hello, at least I'm engaging with you. And I wanted to cry, because formal education and I do not mix, and holy shit, there was a kid in that seat. Stop swearing. Holy smokes. College was bad. But like, the actual stuff we were learning, I don't know, I like it. I miss it. But yeah, no, that's stupid, because the only thing that I could do with a bachelor's degree would be dealing with preservatives, and I do not want anything to do with those. Wait, isn't this where you shoot back some like cool but ultimately horrifying fact about ancient preservatives?
Totally.
Well, come on, I'm waiting, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Right. So, my dad texted me a few minutes ago and was asking about picking up some food for us when we get there. And he was offering Thai food or tacos, but I think we should just ask him to put some worms in a blender, and then he can just pour the worm juice directly into our mouths. Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. And then we can chip out some bricks from the train station and grind them into a powder and snort them. But not in a drugs way, in a dessert way. Would you like that, Joanna?
Yeah.
Oh, for fundamentals of chemistry's sake, what are you even reading?
Hey!
You have not heard a thing I've told you.
Perse, give it back.
Repeat one thing I've said.
You want to go out to dinner with James?
It's fine. God, what are you even reading?
It's The Great Tragedy of Alexandria. It's about the Great Library.
of Alexandria.
Yes.
Nerd.
And proud.
God, remember when I had to drag you out of the library during recess just to get you to play handball with me?
Handball sucked.
Handball was an integral part of our childhood.
You once served the ball directly into my face.
Yeah, childhood memories.
You broke my glasses in half.
Childhood memories. Besides, your lenses were literally fine. You just needed a little tape.
You little shit, my mom was so pissed.
Yeah, but you didn't snitch.
I told you I'm not a snitch, bitch.
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 Bitch. Sorry. So, what do you want for dinner?
What?
Thai food or tacos?
Thai tacos.
You bitch.
I don't care.
You indecisive bitch.
I really don't care. You choose. Thai food or tacos? I can't believe it. You're the indecisive bitch.
Okay, noodles are so good, but tacos are also so good.
Flip a coin?
Yeah. Yeah, I got one.
Heads for Thai, tails for tacos. And don't hit another passenger.
I'm not gonna. Tails!
That's tacos.
I thought tails was Thai.
No, heads is Thai.
But tails sounds more like Thai.
But I said heads was Thai.
Did you?
I very distinctly
I'm pretty
remember.
sure that you said tails was Thai. You said Thai tails.
Okay, then text your dad we want Thai food before you change your mind.
Great.
Wonderful.
We're getting Thai.
Yes, we are.
I am kind of in the mood for tacos, though.
Are the absolute worst.
Okay, well, we wouldn't be in this problem in the first place if you just picked when I asked.
You are the indecisive bitch
You
here.
couldn't decide either.
Okay, we're getting tacos because you're in the mood for tacos, and that's what the coin landed on anyway because tails is tacos, not Thai. Happy?
I think so.
Just text your dad before you change your mind.
He said he's gonna get us some carne asada tacos. Are you good with that?
Totally.
Ooh, there's actually also a soy chorizo option if you've gone vegetarian. Have you gone vegetarian? I thought you were joking last week, but unless I was totally wrong and you weren't joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were joking, or yeah, you weren't.
Yeah.
Oh, would you have a conversation with me, please?
Sorry.
Are you or are you not a vegetarian now?
Did you know the Library of Alexandria didn't actually burn down?
That is not an answer to my
It
question.
didn't actually burn down. And everyone thinks that's its whole thing, but it's not.
Tacos, Joanna, tacos.
It just
Okay,
declined
all right.
over several centuries. The only time it actually burned was when Caesar's soldiers set some ships on fire. It spread to the city, but it didn't totally burn down the library. It just destroyed parts of it, and some parts were rebuilt, we think. A bunch of librarians had left years before, and it took another 300 years for it to finally be demolished.
Wait, I thought it burning down was like the whole point.
No, that's what it's most remembered for, and it's not even the full truth. It wasn't gone in some great burning, it just decayed. That's a real comfort.
Yeah.
Wait, did you ask me a question? No, seriously, Yana, it's like the coolest thing. It's like a family museum. Just about every one of Era's relatives is there. There's even a great something aunt from the 17th century. The 17th century? Yes, I know, I'm a nerd, but it's the 17th century. Back when it was mostly burials, and there's a body from it. And it's at Era's dad's house because it's their great something aunt's body. How cool is that? No. Not exactly. It was a taxidermy experiment. Like, they took the skin off and placed it on an artificial form. It's not a great look. Probably why she's in a coffin. An actual coffin instead of in display cases like the others. But, I mean, this is our history. The history of preservation started with taxidermy. It's the coolest thing. The chemical injections came before the freeze drying. That's literally the science. No, the injections still happen. It's just part of the freeze drying now. How do you not? Ooh. So, this is so why you failed sophomore history. Yes, I remember. Just because I was in middle school doesn't mean that it... I do, because you stole the ice cream Mom and Dad got me for my good report card. Right, and then you
We're
decided...
leaving.
Wait, what? Give me, what's wrong?
We are leaving. My dad is the worst, and we're leaving.
What?
I have to go.
Okay, just give me a second. Hey, sorry, something's come up. I think I have, yeah, no, I don't want it to end like this either. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Next week. Talk to you then. Love you, Yana. Bye. What's wrong?
He built a display.
What?
He built a display in the living room.
For your mom.
For all of us. One for him, one for her, and one for me. And I am not dead. And he isn't either.
I know, but now that your mom's gonna be on display, he's probably just thinking ahead. And now you can both decide how you want your displays to look before you both
I
actually...
told him, I've been telling him I do not want to be on display, and I sure as hell do not want to be on display in that fucking house. God, I am not one of his dead things. I am not...
Okay. Yeah, let's go back to the hotel.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll call a car.
Thanks. Oh God, let's hope this one doesn't crash, or I really will end up in one of those display cases.
Jokes about your mom's death? You must be feeling better already.
Yeah, something like that. God, I will see about bumping the train tickets earlier.
What?
The train tickets, bumping them earlier.
What?
We're leaving.
The house. I thought the house
I can't
was...
stay another night in that house, and I cannot deal with him anymore.
Eris.
What?
The memorial. It's on Sunday.
I'm not going.
What?
I'm not going.
You can't not go to your mom's memorial.
Yes, I can. Do you know why? She died when I was 13. I have had 15 years to remember her, and I don't need a service or an outfit or her dead body on display in the fucking living room to get over it. Dad is the one who is refusing to let things go. Do you know why he took her off life support? Not because he was ready. Not because he'd accepted anything. It's because if he kept paying the medical bills, there wouldn't have been anything left for the preservation, and that would have been worse than Mom's actual death!
Let's go.
Really?
Yeah. Your dad is kind of lame.
God, he is so lame. Shit, fuck!
Shit,
Fuck a shit!
I'd really rather not. Do you know where everyone is?
No clue, this place is deserted.
Damn, I was supposed to get my water bottle back from Kiara, but I guess she's not in today.
You are surprisingly okay.
I had a good breakfast.
Inside tacos.
No.
I think exposure therapy is working.
No, it's not. And it's not exposure therapy. You're not licensed.
I don't think you need to be licensed for exposure therapy. Hey! That was my last one! Hey, you came close enough to blow it out. You are getting better.
How many have you been burning?
Enough that I'm gonna have to go and buy new ones. You know what a hassle it is to go and buy lighters.
No, I don't. And let's keep it that way. Has the whole fire pretty thing not gotten old for you?
Oh, well, it's actually more than that.
That's ominous.
Don't worry about it.
Oh. No, I think I will, because that was even more ominous, Eris. What's going on?
It's personal.
Taking out your first tampon is personal, and you did that for me when we were 12.
God, don't remind me.
It was a bonding experience.
There was so much blood, Joanna. So much blood. It got everywhere. I think I swallowed some. I so did.
Sure.
I did. I can still taste it to this day.
Well, okay, I'll stop talking about it if you tell me what's actually going on with the lights.
Joanna!
Paris!
Okay. Fine. Fine. I may or may not be trying to discover the secret to spontaneous human combustion.
What?
Like, it's not real. I just want to know if it's possible for a human being to catch on fire almost instantly, you know, like a match, and burn to death.
What the fuck?
You asked.
No, what the fuck? Are you trying to commit murder? Are you trying to enact a brutal, painful, dishonorable death on someone who wronged you?
Yeah, this is my revenge on Luna for making us work with James.
Is this about your mom?
No,
Your dad?
not everything is about my rampant daddy issues, Joanna.
Okay, then why are you trying to cause spontaneous human combustion? Who are you trying to combust?
I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I just want to spontaneously combust myself in a controlled way.
Okay. I'm hauling your ass to a licensed therapist right now. I cannot believe you're casually talking about a suicide
What?
plan.
No, this is not suicide.
Well, how is burning yourself at the stake not suicide?
Well, there's no stake.
Not the point, Eris.
Actually, I think by definition stakes do have a point.
Eris! Explain.
It's like a deathbed thing. Like when I'm old and gray and whatever, I can just push a button and I'm up in flames.
What?
Talk about going out in a blaze of glory.
No, there will not be a blaze of glory to go out in because I will kill you myself for that pun before you get the chance to master spontaneous human combustion.
Okay, that was wordplay, not a pun. Weirdo.
You are the one trying to combust yourself!
Yes! Because one minute I am a living body, and then the next minute, I'm ash in the wind. There is no in-between. I don't have to be a dead body, and I don't have to be preserved.
What are you even talking about?
I think it's called cremation. God, it's what they do to prisoners.
Yeah, I know what cremation is. What's confusing me is why you want to die in the worst way possible.
That is not the worst way possible.
What?
My biggest fear is, God, have you heard those stories? The ones about people who are pronounced dead, but then for whatever reason, they're still alive. They will wake up in the morgue and scare the shit out of people. Or centuries ago when bodies were still buried, they would wake up underground. We don't really hear about that so much anymore, but it is not because it has stopped happening, at least I don't think so. It's because everybody is rushing to preserve the bodies. They stick them in a freeze dryer a day or two after death, and I do not want... My biggest fear is waking up alone, confused, in pain, in a chamber where nobody can hear me scream, with chemicals coursing through my veins while the water is slowly being sucked out of me until I am actually dead, and no one would ever know that I was actually alive when they put me in there.
Okay. Okay, that I can understand.
And I don't want to be preserved.
That I don't
What?
understand.
Even without the freeze dryer fear, I do not want to be preserved.
Everyone gets preserved.
Not everyone.
Everyone should be. Everyone deserves to be part of history. Everyone should have the chance to live on with the rest of us for 1,000 years, like the old ones. The very first. How could you not?
I told you, Joanna, back at my... At that house...
Now that was about being on display. That's entirely different.
Is it? I am a relic, either way, against my will. And I know that no matter what my final wishes are, whoever's responsibility it is to deal with my dead body will not follow through on them. Which is why I have to be the one to make that decision.
Please. Eris, just don't light any more matches. You're scaring me.
I will stop if you look me in the eye right now and promise me that when I'm dead, you will personally make sure that I'm cremated. See?
Well, I can't make any promises when I don't even know how you'll die. What if I die first?
Oh, if one of us is gonna die first, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, but what if you die in an accident or something? Then I'll be dead too, because we're always together. So I can't
Oh,
think...
you are totally deflecting.
No, I'm not deflecting. I'm just
Yes,
saying...
you are, because the fact that you can't even tell me that you do this
you're
for...
yelling. People are gonna hear.
No, they're not! Because nobody's here! I guess we came early. Or... No, we didn't. It's literally 11.
Then why are we the first people here?
I don't know.
I'm calling
God, this is
Luna.
making me feel like a morning person.
You're not a morning person.
I know I'm not a morning person.
You missed 3 exams your first year of college because they started it at 8 a.m.
Girl, I am literally agreeing with you. Why are you reminding me about that?
Because I exist to antagonize you.
Yeah, you do.
Seriously, where is everyone?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm calling Luna. And she's not picking up.
Weird.
I'll try Kiara instead. I was supposed to get my water bottle back from her anyway. Hey, it's Joanna. Yeah, I was actually wondering if you were coming in today. What? Yeah, Eris and I are both here. We're like the only people here. Did everyone quit while we were gone? Hear about what? What? Oh. Oh. No, that's... No. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Bye.
Joanna, what?
After the shoot on Wednesday, there was a car crash. And Luna didn't... She's not.
She's dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
People of the court, I stand before you today to state my case that my sister, Yana, the incarcerated, deserves a chance to live out the rest of her days imprisoned rather than be put to death in 1 month's time, as her sentence was originally ruled. Please understand, I do not deny the crime that she committed. To take the life of an innocent is inexcusable. But she did not intend to commit that crime. The murder was not premeditated. It was a reaction, and it was a bad reaction, but it was not a planned action. I agree that she should do the time, but taking her life and burning her does not mitigate what she has done. Her sentence is punitive, yes, but is it justice? And in requesting that she be sentenced for life, rather than be sentenced to death, I also call for a change in the standard posthumous proceedings. Everyone deserves the right to preservation, no matter what a person's done. How are we supposed to learn from our mistakes of the past if we can't look back at our full, undiluted history? Every person's body is a vessel of knowledge of the past for the future. And instead of preserving that, this system would rather light those bodies aflame. The incarcerated, Yana, my sister, she has committed a crime. A severe crime, but not one matching the severity of her sentence. You would deny her the chance to live, the chance to do good, the chance to change. And when her time eventually does come, you would deny her the preservation that you are all so assured of for your own bodies that you've never spent a day in your life truly fearing fire. I have committed no crime. And you would deny me the right to properly grieve and honor my sister. Please, allow her to live out the rest of her days imprisoned and permit me to preserve her when her time comes naturally. Allow us that dignity, that humanity. People of the court, I urge you to consider my appeal. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's beautiful.
what?
You can't even tell there was an accident. She looks alive.
She's not.
I wasn't trying to say that, just they did a good job with her. I like her hair. Kiara said it got burnt away when the car, But it looks good. Short. I wonder if she ever wore it like that when she
I don't like it.
Her hair? I do think the spikes are a bit...
I don't like that she's here.
Oh.
Why is she here? We have never had somebody here before.
Well, I mean, she founded the agency, so of course it makes sense that she'd want to be on display here. It was important to her.
What about her family?
What?
The body should go to her family, not here.
I don't think she had much of a family. But I mean, anyone she did have can always come here to see her. The agency, it was her life's work.
What does that matter now? She's dead.
But she's not gone. She's still here.
In rotting body only.
She's been freeze-dried, Eris. You can't rot without moisture.
Counterpoint, dry rot.
Counterpoint, explain.
Counterpoint, it spreads without moisture because it generates from timber.
Counterpoint, that still involves moisture. It's just not reliant on another source.
Counterpoint, you're a nerd.
Counterpoint, you're a nerd! You knew about the process of dry rot off the top of your head.
Counterpoint, you are arguing semantics over dry rot when our dead boss is in a glass case in the lobby. And you're a fucking nerd.
What's wrong with you?
A lot.
Well, duh. Specify.
Do I have to? I don't like that she's here.
Eris, it's what she would have wanted.
So?
So? So we're honoring her last wishes.
Pretty sure her last wish was for the truck not to hit her head on, and that certainly didn't get honored. Besides, why should we?
Why should we?
Why should we honor the dead when they won't know and will never know what we do with them? We are the ones who are alive. We're the ones who have to deal with everything. And I would rather not be greeted with the corpse of a friend every time I walk inside the fucking lobby.
I don't get it.
You don't get
What the difference is for you between modeling and preservation. It's all about being on display.
Joanna.
That's how I see it.
Maybe I don't want to be reminded that she died in a car crash every working day. We should just burn everybody. It would free up a lot more space.
What?
I hate preservation. What is not clicking?
So this is about your mom.
What? No, shut up.
I know you don't like, having your dead family on display back home, but I think it helps your dad. Like my grandpa. Whenever I visit my grandma's house, having him on display really helps me. Whenever I miss him, I can just glance over, and it's like I'm seeing him out of the corner of my eye. He's still here with us. Not all of him, but a part of him.
That is super corny.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm the whole corn on the cob, but we got a bunch of cobs here.
What?
Everyone does this, Eris.
Well-
everyone, including your dad.
Well, everyone and my dad needs to get checked into a mental ward.
You know what? I'm sorry your mom as good as died when you were a kid, and your dad cares more about his dead relatives than you, but maybe don't take that out on other people. Can you try that? It's not that hard. All you have to do is keep your mouth shut.
Well, if it's not that hard, then you should do it. Because I know that you barely remember your grandpa because he died when you were 4, bitch! You have no idea what it's like to actually lose someone you love and have no control over what horrible thing happens to their body. You have no idea.
If that's you, Eris, I swear. Hello, this is Joanna. The appeal? Yes, yeah, did it, What? But that's, No. No. There has to be something I can do. But she's... Well, I can try again. I'll try again. Yana... I understand. Goodbye.
Joanna, what?
They threw her appeal out!
What? Hey.
No, just go on!
What?
Just go away! Leave!
No. What is going on?
They threw her appeal.
Whose appeal?
Hers. Mine, the one I made for her. About getting her sentence changed. About letting her be preserved. Yana's on death row.
Yeah. Your sister, Yana?
No, my pet squirrel. Yes, my fucking sister!
Joanna, I can't, you... No, you said that she moved away. You said that she...
It's technically true.
Semantics, nerd!
Nerd!
What,
She didn't mean to kill anyone. I know that. It was just breaking. And entering. And also theft. there was someone there. And she didn't account for him. And she had a crowbar, and she panicked. I would be okay, I think, if she had just been sentenced for life, because what she did was bad. I know she can be stupid and greedy and make bad choices, and even though she's my sister and I love her, that was always gonna catch up with her eventually. But they're gonna kill her in 2 weeks.
And there's nothing. I mean, we can't do anything about it?
That's what the appeal was for.
Joanna. I don't.
They're gonna
I'm sorry.
burn her.
What?
Once they execute her, they're gonna...
Cremation. Oh, and here I've been talking. Shit! Joanna, I am so sorry. No, it is not. Your sister is gonna... Joanna, I know how much preservation means to you. I don't agree with it, but I know. Yana deserves that. She deserves to choose that for herself. Everyone does.
That's what I told the court. You idiot.
Hi.
What did you do?
It wasn't intentional.
No, what did you do?
No,
you shouldn't talk. You probably shouldn't talk, right? You look really bad. That could make it worse. Don't talk.
There you go, telling me to shut up.
No, I'm not. Shut up. No, wait, stop. Don't stop moving. You'll make it worse. I thought you were dead. I got a call that there was an accident, some kind of explosion, and you were rushed here in bad condition. Bad condition. I've been waiting here for hours. I thought you would die before I could see you. And it would be my fault.
What?
Explosion. They said there was an explosion, and they thought it was an accident, but I knew. I know you. And I know you did something. You tried to combust. And that's my fault because we kept arguing. We couldn't stop arguing, and maybe if I'd listened, or maybe if I'd gotten you to shut up and listen, then... I'm sorry.
Joanna, it's impossible to get me to shut up, like, ever. Even when Yana threw me in the pool, I came up talking. I swallowed so much chlorine.
You kept spitting it onto the patio.
And she called me a nerd for rambling about the effects of chlorine on the human body.
I was there calling you both idiots the whole time.
Actually, if I'm on my deathbed, I have a confession to make. I had a crush on your sister for years.
What?
since we were 8. No. And honestly, I still like her.
I knew it. I knew it. I have to tell Yana.
I am not gonna die.
How would you know?
Do you know? Like, did they tell you that I'm gonna
I don't know. Nobody will tell me anything. All I know is that you're very, very hurt. And if you don't want to die, you should probably be quiet and stop moving.
I don't think I'll die.
Eris,
I don't think I will.
you have to be still.
I don't think I will die. They won't let me. Everything is about preservation. They'll preserve me. They'll keep me beautiful enough to live. Not to model again, but beautiful enough to live. And then die. And then they'll preserve me forever.
Eris,
You know they will, Joanna, you know they will. They've already started.
just be still. Stop moving.
I look like the first ones. The old ones, the very first. The ones from thousands of years ago that are shriveled up and crumbling, but still preserved. They're not pretty like us. Well, just you know. But preserved. It's what we've always done. It wasn't supposed to be a suicide. It wasn't. It was just, I promise I didn't mean to. It was just a test. So that when the time came, I thought I had it all set up. I tested it on this dead pig. You're still not a vegetarian, right?
I've never been.
Okay, just checking. So I set it up and it burned. It burned perfectly. It burned beautifully. I've never seen anything so beautiful. And it made me understand preservation just a little bit. I wanted to see that fire go on forever. So I didn't put it out. I meant to, but I wanted to see that fire go on a little longer, just a little longer. So it did. And it got bigger. And it was beautiful. I've never seen a fire that big. And I watched it. And it kept growing. And I couldn't leave. I couldn't move. I couldn't. I saw the fire and I should have run, but I didn't.
You could have died.
I don't remember how this happened.
I didn't hear the details. Maybe you hit a gas line?
It was worth it. It was. I didn't hurt anybody else, did I? Joanna, I didn't hurt anybody else, did I?
I don't know. I don't know anything beyond the fact that you are very, very hurt. And I'm scared. I'm scared.
You don't have to be. They will preserve me. One way or another, they will preserve me. So I guess it doesn't matter. I guess none of it. Joanna, promise me.
I'm sorry. I don't know the right way to do this. The way you would want me to do this, the way you would. I'm fighting myself just to try. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'll try again. I wish. I can't believe I'm saying this. I wish you'd figured it out. Combustion. Spontaneous human combustion. That way you could have done this on yourself, by yourself. That way you could have done it, and I wouldn't be torn. I have to. It's what you would want. And everyone deserves to make that choice. Everyone deserves. You're my best friend. And I have to honor your wishes. I have to. You're my best friend. You're my best friend. And I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to burn. I don't want to forget what you look like. It's not the same in pictures. Pictures aren't three-dimensional. I don't want to forget what the full, real you looks like. I want to keep you in my living room and drink tea and pretend that you're still there. I want to watch bad shows and make fun of them like you can hear me. I want to wake up from a nightmare and curl up on the couch with you looking over me. I want to tell you about all the stupid stuff, all the fun stuff, all the best and worst stuff that happens at the agency that I never got to tell you about when you were still alive because we were always together. I want you to be alive. I want you back. Maybe this is what you wanted. You did this to yourself. But I still failed you. I saw it coming, or I should have seen it coming, and I couldn't stop it. Maybe if I had the right words, the right argument, you wouldn't. One of those discussions we had about preservation, you were saying you hated it. You hate it. You hate it! I know I shouldn't even think about preserving you, but I was saying it's about honoring the dead's last wishes. And you said something like, they'll never know what happens to their bodies, so why shouldn't the living make the decisions? I think we got it wrong. Or at least I did. Because respecting you would mean burning you, and I just can't bring myself. I'm sorry. I don't want to. But it's what you would want. So I should. So I have to. So I will. I love you.
You didn't see me a second ago. My name's Don. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm one of the artistic directors with Larry.
Yeah, I'm the other artistic director. There's something really cool happening right now with us. With Gender Front Productions, we have a program called the Producer Mentorship Program that Don will talk more about.
Yep, the concept is we don't need a seat at cis people's tables if we build the tables ourselves. Producer Mentorship Program is an ongoing place of empowerment for trans artists to learn the business of making theater. And we're here to celebrate our first year doing it. We also got grants, so we're doing it a second year. And our application. Another really cool thing that is going to happen with this program is that all the people you're about to see graduate are going to be some of our mentors next year, training the next generation of trans producers and art makers. So we're here to celebrate them and their work today. There are two friends who cannot be here today. One that was delayed coming in from New York. Leah Lara works with Puppet Queers, and they did a wonderful job, so a round of applause for them. Our second person that's not here is Cameron Applewhite, who worked on our T for T open mic, so a little round of applause for them, too. And now you can see the people who are actually here.
Yes,
Okay.
we need it. So we're gonna start with the program that I got associated with Gender Fucked with, which is Trans Voices Cabaret. That's our musical theater showcase moment for trans artists in the city. I have been mentoring John Payne. And they are taking over as the producer for Trans Voices Cabaret. We've got little trinkets. First, a magnet that says, I'm a vibe, not a gender. And of course, we had to get the cute little trans pins for everyone. And that's your little trinkets for,
Yeah. Next up is our friend Harlow. Harlow, come on out. Harlow works on this that you're seeing right now.
Harlow helped me make this happen.
Yes. Above and Beyond worked on Scribe and also did our new work series, so helps bring new trans works to the stages. Thank you so much and great job.
They're launching a new project this summer that you'll hear about more soon.
Okay. Yeah, playwrights set us up.
Mysterious new works project. Yeah. And then last up here we have Aisha. Where are you? There. Aisha is the producer for Queer Dance Freak Out, which is our dance troupe with all the trans artists here. And thank you so much. These are all of our associate producers that could make it today that weren't booked and blessed. Somebody else, because we made them make time.
Okay.
But yeah, congrats guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna move this. We're gonna take a picture and then we're gonna move on.
Yes, I'll be on that.
Let's go.
We got another show for you. This is Science the Traveler. And afterwards, if you want to stick around, we do have a talk back for both of these shows. That'll be led by our fabulous dramaturg, who's sitting over there, Jules. And yeah, you can chat with us and talk about shows. But enjoy the show, y'all.
I have a place where dreams are born and time is never planned. It's not on any chart, you must find it with your heart. Never, never land. It might be miles beyond the moon, or right there where you stand. Just keep an open mind, and then suddenly you'll find never, never land. You'll have a treasure if you stay there, more precious far than gold. For For once you have found your way there, you can never, never grow old. When I was young, I used to spend a lot of Friday nights with my grandmother, and she would serve popcorn in little chicken pot pie tins. I associate Jiffy Pop with watching the Lawrence Welk Show and the Rockford Files. But my first earth-shattering artistic experience happened when I was 4 or 5. I had seen Sesame Street, so I knew that there was a world outside of Patricia Avenue in Greenville, South Carolina. And it was a world where James Taylor would drop by the stoop with his guitar to sing songs with Oscar the Grouch. And it was where Edith Ann would share her truth from atop her huge chair. And it was a place where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Pointer Sisters would count with you. And I knew that I needed to be there. I had already started getting those looks from my parents' friends, you know, because I was an old queen in the body of a kindergartner. And then someone came to my window. I've always thought that I first saw the black and white broadcast of Peter Pan, but I think I actually saw the color broadcast on a black and white TV. My grandmother's black and white TV sat on top of a broken colored television. She was what we call frugal. My grandmother was really excited for me to see Peter Pan, and she made a point of telling me that the actor who played Peter was Larry Hagman's mother. Major Tony Nelson from I Dream of Jeannie. Peter Pan was his mother? Well, I remember the moment that Peter came to the window and, well, he broke into the nursery of a really nice house, but it was Victorian England, so that was okay. But when Wendy finds Peter crying over losing his shadow, I was something, not turned on, but excited. Because of the masculine energy of Peter Pan that was lost and vulnerable, and Wendy being that nurturing feminine energy who can come in and make it all better. So my grandmother explained to me that Mary Martin was an actor and this was her job. Her job was to get in drag, sing really loud, fly, and throw glitter at people. I knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. My heaven is all handmade. It's MGM in the golden years. In The Wizard of Oz, for instance, there is only one exterior shot. It is the sunlight coming through the clouds, and it's used in the opening credits. Everything else in the movie is handmade by artists and surrounded by a cyclorama painting of a horizon inspired by the horizons in the beautiful paintings of Maxfield Parrish. And I really like that because I believe that if we clap, Tinkerbell will live. And I believe that pixie dust will make you fly. And I believe that the ruby slippers can take you home. And I know that Tinkerbell is just a light. And I know that pixie dust is glitter and wires make you fly. And the ruby slippers are size 5 pumps with a 3/4 inch spool heel covered in red sequins and recently sold for $35 million. But anyway, I still believe in them. The problem with believing in Neverland is that not growing up is a bad idea. Peter Pan has a really bad credit rating. And he's really, really good at going to people's windows and convincing them to fly away. But they always seem to grow up and fly back home. And then one day Peter looks in the mirror and realizes that it is impossible to stop time. I still follow some of my friends from high school online, the ones that haven't gone over to the dark side.
Oh.
And I saw that my friend Sherry, who was a cheerleader, who drove us to Rocky Horror, who got me drunk for the first time on Bacardi and iced tea. The girl who taught me to toilet paper people's front yards and to use tampons and hang them in trees like Christmas ornaments.
Yeah.
Last week, Sherry had her grandchildren over for Nana and Papa weekend. Last weekend I was very inappropriate with a man in the parking lot beside a leather bar at 7 o'clock in the morning while we waited for our Ubers to show up. So I'm wondering, did I miss something, or did I don't know, dodge a bullet? You see, because Peter Pan spent so much time trying to find lost boys. And then there was this plague where they all just fell from the sky. And then time slipped up on them because it moves a lot faster than anyone could have imagined. And now Neverland is not the same, and they just keep building condos everywhere. And it seems more and more like Peter is watching people live a normal life through the window. I asked my friend Missy to call me Michelle. We were playing in the backyard, and that day I wanted to be a girl. I wanted my name to be Michelle, but you could call me Shelley. I would sit on a swing with my ankles crossed like this, with a sprinkler behind me, you know, the kind that has a rake shape that kind of looks like a seashell. I would sing songs, probably a lot of Cher. And I was Shelley, the singing mermaid, and I performed nightly at the giant oyster shell-shaped amphitheater in Myrtle Beach. I had never been Michelle in front of someone else, but Missy didn't seem to mind, so today I was Shelley. When Missy went home, my mother called me in the kitchen to ask me why I wanted to be called Shelley. She had been eavesdropping, bitch. I did not have an answer other than I just wanted to. And I don't remember much about this conversation except the shock. My mother was usually not critical of my playtime, and I didn't understand why this was so important and why it was making her so upset. And then that shock turned into shame when I realized that I did kind of want to be a girl sometimes. I mean, girls had the best clothes, the best shoes, they were the best singers, they got to play with makeup and have cute boyfriends who would hold their hands while they skated couples only at Skateland USA. I had once met a boy at the skating rink, and we decided that if we held hands, we could skate during this time that was exclusive to the fully committed elementary school parents. And it seemed like the most natural thing in the world to hold hands and skate along to Frankie Valli singing My Eyes Adored You. But then out of nowhere, my babysitter Robin flew out onto the floor and pulled me away from this boy because boys don't do that. And again, I did not understand what the big deal was about holding his hand. I never saw him again. I don't know his name, but I am convinced that Robin prevented me from meeting the person who was supposed to be the one true love of my life. The two people that I most wanted to be, other than Michelle, were Wonder Woman, as portrayed by Linda Carter, and Mary Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
But I had learned to keep it to myself and not let my nosy mother hear me being a girl through the kitchen window. Then shockingly, on Halloween, she let me dress as a fortune teller, wearing my cousin's dress and a scarf wrapped around my head and makeup and my grandmother's clip-on earrings. And it was fun and it was silly. Until we went to my father's office and he was pissed. He turned bright red. And so I had to go back home and change into last year's pirate costume. At least I got to keep one of the earrings. This girl thing, it was a forbidden zone. And my mother would become increasingly concerned about me acting like S-I-S-S-Y. I hate that word more than any other. It is filled with such venom and shame. Because it was something that I was not even conscious of. My excitement about Dorothy or Wonder Woman would make adults give each other that shameful, disapproving look. So I kept it to myself. But I did not give up. Michelle became a fashion model. She would wear my sleeping bag as a mink stole when she walked the runway. And sometimes the comforter on my bed would become a hoop skirt when she wanted to be Deborah Carr in The King and I. And I'm happy to say that Michelle is still alive and well and living inside of me, though recently she has adopted the stage name Pepper Doll. Yeah. Her act has improved and become racier. Her costumes have become more complex and sluttier. But she's still the same simple mermaid swinging in the water sprinkler, singing Cher's version of The Long and Winding Road. And she is very satisfied with herself. In the darkest corner of the fair stood an old army surplus tent with a small stage in front lit by strings of those light bulbs, the kind that used to illuminate used car lots. And a barker in front announced the show. The theme was apparently women in history, a seemingly feminist topic, but the reality would not have pleased Betty Friedan. There was Lady Godiva and Nefertiti, Cleopatra, and Eve, the first lady. Eve had a lime green bikini with matching platforms, afro puffs, and a huge boa constrictor wrapped around her neck, and an apple. Gentlemen, come inside. Eve was a disobedient woman who could not obey the Lord. Come inside and see how she got them evicted from the Garden of Eden. And all the men went inside to see. Now, I was much too young to enter that tent, and by the time I was old enough, the hoochie coochie shows were gone, and I would never know what went on inside. Sometimes I would pretend to be Eve in my bedroom using this very realistic rubber snake that I got at the National Zoo in Washington. But there was so much more that I wanted to know, like how much did they take off, and did they wear those little tassels, and were they good dancers? After I saw the made-for-TV movie Ode to Billy Joe with Robbie Benson and Glennis O'Connor, I figured out that the coochie coochie shows in the county fair were actually prostitution rings. And then they became even more fascinating to me. I mean, where did they do it? Did they have like a tent or a trailer somewhere, or did they have to just like do it on a cot somewhere? And yes, I know that it was wrong of me to fantasize about being one of these women, but dancing on stage with a feather boa was a whole lot more interesting than being a fifth grader in South Carolina who was very bad at math. And something about the county fair at this point in my prepubescence was so sexual. Hot redneck boys playing games to win a giant teddy bear for their girlfriend, who they would walk around with later with their hands in each other's back pockets. But the men who really fascinated me were the carnies, the ones who ran the rides, the gruff, wiry, muscular guys with tattoos and just a little bit scary. My mother would not let me ride a ride if the carny looked too, well, in her words, like a woolly booger. But I couldn't stop staring at them. They lived on the road and they ran the tilt-a-whirl, getting to make it go faster and faster and backwards. And I bet they even smoked pot. I wondered if they dated the girls in the Hoochie Coochie shows, but I will never know. In another part of the fair was an exhibit that held just as much fascination for me as the Hoochie Coochie women. It was called Sleeping Beauty. And in this exhibit, a woman would lay on a table dressed as Sleeping Beauty, surrounded by shelves filled with glass jars containing dead babies in colored liquid, posed like sleeping angels. My mother told me that they were miscarried babies, which she should not have told me, because her best friend Sandra had a miscarriage and I asked her if she gave it to the fair. And I could never understand who came up with this idea. And what did these women have to do? I mean, did they have to set up the jars before they laid down on the table? Did she actually sleep or did she just pretend? And did she have nightmares about the babies? Or did they bring her comfort? Is what I will never know what drives me or what drives me crazy? Is it what causes my jealousy or my fear of always being on the outside looking in? I will never know what went on inside those tents. And I will never know what it was like to date a carny. And I will never know why they put dead babies in jars. Oh. Have I told you about the time that I saw the Virgin Mary? Well, sit down. Okay. I was living in Sarasota for the winter, working in one of the last great Florida dinner theaters, and I was spending my days in downtown Sarasota drinking coffee at this new internet cafe, obsessively checking my Friendster account. And it was here that I opened the newspaper and found that the Virgin Mary had come to Florida. She had come in the form of a water stain on the side of an insurance building in Clearwater. And for a water stain, she was pretty impressive. The building was one of those mirrored metallic office buildings like in the opening credits of Dallas. You remember. A fire sprinkler, well, a lot of people don't. A fire sprinkler had gone off and the water caused the metallic finish on the windows to stain in large rainbow-colored half circles. And it did kind of look like the Virgin Mary. It also looked like a psychedelic thumb. Over the next week, I would search the newspaper for the latest story about the growing crowds taking a pilgrimage to find a healing or the answer to an unanswerable question. The flocks were gathering, buses filled the parking lot, wheelchairs rolled right up front, people sold rosaries and Gatorade to the loyal gathered at this holy sprinkler accident. And I cut out each story and glue-sticked it into my journal, which I always brought with me so that I would look like one of those people who journals with their coffee in the morning. I talked my roommate Brad into driving the hour and a half to Clearwater. The traffic was at a standstill. It was sweet, and it was pitiful. And since we were stoned, it was really funny. We pulled into the parking lot, and there she was. This was no minor sprinkler accident. This was a 30-foot tall sprinkler accident that encompassed 12 huge panes of glass. We walked through the crowd to get closer. I really hoped that somebody was selling t-shirts. And there were nuns and priests everywhere and press and People were on their knees on the asphalt praying to this miracle. And then Brad said, no, this is getting too real, and he went back. I walked through the crowd, past the Catholic school children singing, past the lady who took picture after picture while tears rolled down her face, past a man who told an NBC News reporter that he knew that it had to be the Holy Mother because she wanted us to believe, and that is why she came to Clearwater, so that we would believe. But I didn't believe. After the Baptist Church and the Episcopal Church, Buddhism twice, and the Artist Way, I still did not believe. There were flowers and candles arranged on the grass in front of the building, and a lady was standing behind her son's wheelchair talking to a reporter, and she said, "We drove all the way from Pennsylvania. My son is sick, and the doctors tell me that there's nothing they can do. It's all we have left." And I would not cry because I was too cool and artistic to cry about fairy tales, but just cool and artistic enough to scrapbook about them while I drank overpriced coffee with fresh ground nutmeg. It was ridiculous to cry. We hit Interstate 60, and I thought about that sick child. It's all we have left. Now, I didn't understand miracles or belief, but I definitely understood not having anything left. And then I realized that no miracle was ever going to happen to me because I wouldn't just get out of the way and let it happen. Then I cried. I want to be a faith healer. I really do. To be able to touch and heal somebody through the power of belief as a child and as an adult. One of my favorite forms of entertainment were the televangelists, especially the ones who healed people. They fascinated me and they made me uncomfortable. Like Joni Mitchell said, I'm frightened by the devil and I'm drawn to those ones that ain't afraid. As ridiculous as I found these snake oil salesmen who bilked money out of these people gullible enough to believe and have faith. I wish I had this power when I see a dead bird. I want to pick it up and hold it in my hands and fill its body with the warmth of my faith and feel its life return and release it into the air. I have everything that you need to be a faith healer, except faith. I see the tents lining the Kennedy Expressway and under the bridges, and the insane wealth in our country that is acquired by the few at the expense of so many people's dignity and hope. And I listen to Bob Dylan and I think the times they are changing, but not fast enough. And I want to pull over and perform some kind of fish and loaves miracle. I wish I could have healed my friend Victoria from her cancer so that we could be sitting in her backyard smoking a joint and watching the clematis climb the fence. I wish I could save my mother from her sadness and loneliness. I wish I could help my father realize the dreams that he had to suppress after becoming a young father and husband. And I wish I could heal myself, to pull myself inside whatever it is that I feel like I've always been on the outside of, looking in, to take away the fear and the doubt that prevented me from so many things. But if I can't heal myself, how can I give comfort to anyone else? And then I found the answer. In a song. Not from a hymnal, not Bob Dylan, not from Joni Mitchell, but a song from the American Musical Theater, which is where I've learned everything of importance. Annie taught me about the Depression. Thank you. South Pacific taught me about racism. Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice taught me more about the Bible than all my years in the Baptist Church. Now, this song was written by Lou Brown and Ray Henderson for Ethel Merman in George White's Scandals of 1931. We've all heard this song a million times, and I never realized it until it popped up on a Pandora mix that it contained the secret. This is the opening verse. This is the part that you don't hear a lot. And it goes, people are queer. They're always crowing, scrambling and rushing about. Why don't they stop someday, address themselves this way? Why are we here? Where are we going? It's time that we found out. We're not here to stay. We're on a short holiday. There's a Chinese form of fortune telling called the I Ching. It's also called the Book of Changes. And I have been consulting it since I was 18, which is really odd considering the fact that I am deathly afraid of change. 3 coins are tossed 6 times, and it gives you 1 or 2 numbers. Look it up. I received the number 56, the sign of the traveler, the first 3 times that I consulted, and it has haunted me ever since. It says, you will not make roots. You will observe for a while and move on. And that used to seem fun and adventurous, but I started to no longer see this as an exploration. It just felt like I was running, maybe to something, maybe from something else. Running to find the meaning of life, and yet there it was. Clear as a bell, coming out of Ethel Merman. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't take it serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you save, and you worry so, but you can't take the dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating it's the berries. The strongest oak must fall. The sweet things in life to you are just loan. So how can you lose what you never owned? So life is just a bowl of cherries. So live and laugh at it all. A wise man once spoke to me on the corner of Southport and Addison. We were getting off the bus. He was an old man with a cane and a plastic bag containing a Rocky and Bullwinkle videotape. He looked me in the eye and he said, we're all going to die, even Bob Hope. Oh, I've been looking for these. But I lost these. My optometrist told me that I was going to need bifocals, like my grandmother swore. I like my optometrist. She's really beautiful. She looks kind of like Wonder Woman. And when I'm able to successfully read the eye chart, D, Z, B, whatever, she compliments me, and I feel really good. But that day I could have kicked her. Now, I've always been nearsighted, but apparently my near vision is going to hell. And she told me that I could wear contacts, but I would probably need magnifying glasses from the drugstore to read, so I really am turning into my grandmother. So I got a pair of contacts to try, and then I went to Walgreens for readers, another thing that I can be constantly losing. And I searched hard to find a pair that didn't have a flower design. I chose black ones because that was simple and it seemed appropriate for my impending old age. And I put them in my backpack with my new contacts, and I walked to the corner to wait for the bus to the gym so that I can treadmill my geriatria away. I was sitting at the bus stop when my eye caught something in the window of an Asian wig shop. Something that I had always wanted to wear, unlike bifocals or readers. Something that was also black. There, hanging on a tiny little hanger, was a pair of black fishnets and garters. I had always wanted fishnets and garters since my old Rocky Horror days. But back then I didn't have the nerve, and now I didn't have a reason. But I didn't need a reason. I just wanted them. But so when I have to put on my black readers to read the latest Real Simple or Catcher in the Rye, whatever, I have black fishnets and garters to balance it all out. like it. And I know that it sounds like I have a fear of growing old or a fear of missing out, and that's true. But Peter Pan is not finished flying. He is not finished being inappropriate in parking lots when the sun rises on a new day. I like to be awake when the sun rises. It reminds me of prom night, when I was about to fly away to my first apartment and my first boyfriend and my first heartbreak. A lot of drag queens and old queens and a whole lot of lost boys. And I still believe, I do, I still believe that if we all clap, just clap. I believe that if we all clap, Tinkerbell will live. And I still believe, I do, I believe in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Here, take that. And I still believe in cute trans boys who can make you fly. So come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things and your heart will fly on wings forever in never, never land.
Hi, y'all. Oh, I'm such a horrible person. My name is Jules. I was the dramaturg for Scribe. I made the board out there, and I wrote the program summaries. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for supporting trans art at the fucking Steppenwolf. Oh my god, it's crazy. We are just gonna do a fierce little talk back. It's gonna last about 20 minutes. Please stay. A little bit about me. I'm a dramaturg, I'm a director, I'm a drag queen. It's all great. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd be stalling. It's okay. No, you're good. We all enjoyed that, right? Wait, oh my gosh, someone has joined me. Would you like to tell these people who you are?
Sure.
Person I don't know?
My name is Lucky Stiff. I directed Sign of the Traveler.
Hi, my name is Grace Sindaco, and I directed Burn My Body Before They Find It.
Damn right.
I'm Z. I was Eris in Burn My Body Before They Find It.
So if that's all okay, I am going to start with Burn My Body just because they were first. Oh my god, you're sitting next to me. I'm so flattered. Hey, what's up?
You look prettier than me.
I mean, you said it. So, never mind. I can't ask you about my fun fact about the shoes later. So, first of all, Burn My Body. That was everything. That was, I love that play. I think it is so powerful. My first question is, just because, we see in the play that image is so important and image is really a central aspect of it. What does it mean to be visible and what does it mean to be hyper visible, and how can we as trans people reclaim visibility on our terms?
Okay, starting with the easy questions.
And if you thought that was smart, you can snap. Thank you.
I really think you want to go first.
Okay, I can go. So a big part at the end of it, I can't really tell because we can't explode the theater, but Joanna decides to burn herself along with Eris, and I think that really, really big decision comes from a lot of what you were talking about, and a lot of Eris's wants as a person who wants control over their body and wants control over what's going to happen to their body once they don't have the say, and what Joanna decides to do to honor her friend, but also her own breaking down of her own constructs, and how I mean that stuff happens to all of us every day, you know?
Yeah. I know that I always think about, I don't know if anyone else specifically remembers this, but there was this trans teenager named Leila Alcorn, I see some nods, who unfortunately I believe was found out by their parents and was murdered, and I think periodically about how she never got to be herself and never got to be sort of buried in a respectful way. And I think it's really powerful to sort of speak on that. And then in terms of visibility while still alive, what does visibility mean to you as trans folks? And anyone is welcome to answer this. But what does visibility mean to you in this time where we are so visible whether or not we want to be, and sort of how do you balance authenticity with safety?
I mean, we're figuring that out every day.
Right?
I think that's one of the reasons that I really liked this story, is because it was just a trans person who happened to be going through the circumstances. And I think those kinds of stories and that kind of art right now, unfortunately, is really important because it can, and it sucks that you even have to think about it, but it helps to humanize, and it helps to bring like a roundedness to the trans experience to people who don't know trans people, who don't have trans people in their lives, who maybe don't understand. And I think that is the direction that a lot of representation is going, but I feel like we are still in the world of this is a play about trans people and it's this trans person coming out. And I think we need more of just trans people existing in real world.
Yeah. No, it really struck me watching it. I was like, this is not explicitly about being trans, but it also so is. And visibility and sort of that bodily autonomy, because obviously we are facing an onslaught against bodily autonomy on such a massive, massive scale. And I think there's also a lot of power in not just deciding how we live, but sort of how we die and how we get to be preserved, be remembered, or not be preserved, not be remembered. And I think it was just really powerful to sort of see that, even though it wasn't, it was cool to see that in specifically a trans context. And I really, really appreciated that. Sorry. So how did the current political hypervisibility of trans folks play into how you both approach this piece?
I feel like I didn't approach it that way. I feel like when I first read it, I feel like I just completely heard these two people as people, and I wanted to make them visible on the stage. And I feel like I really, really did that.
Sorry, that rules.
No, but it really was just, it was about making sure that these characters' voices were heard authentically. And that was the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And that was something that I really loved about the process was, I mean, very rarely do I feel like I get to play in a world that is just so fundamentally different than the one that I live in. And pretty much day one, you brought to the table that you were like, I don't think that like being trans in this world is all that crazy. And I think that it's pretty normal, and it's like, it just is what it is. And I think that made a lot of room for me to focus on the text and focus on the current circumstances and not have that be clouding everything I say, because it's gonna be there. I'm trans, it's gonna be there. That was gonna change the character if I'm playing it, and that's enough. We don't have to hammer it over people's heads.
Yeah. I got to speak with the director of the full length, which you should come see it tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. It's a really, really incredible script. I can't wait to see what they did with it. But I remember I was talking to the director, and we sort of spoke about how in a lot of plays with trans characters, it's about what they are going through as a trans person. It's about their experience as a trans person and sort of what they are producing as a trans person. And I think the exciting thing about this play is it's kind of a fuck you of existence, and it's sort of a fundamentally we're trans, let's get that out of the way, and let's tell a story that sort of has nothing to do with that, but also kind of everything to do with that. Who here likes fire? No, I'm the same way. So like I said, I do drag, and I was burning glasses because I was doing a fucked up pie look situation. I'll show you, whatever. And I almost burned the kitchen down. It was a little crazy. But do you see fire in this play as an ending or a beginning or sort of something in the middle?
I see it as transformation.
Trans.
Yeah, so both. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the fire imagery. I think it's really, really exciting. And I love the way it was portrayed, and I think changing it to lighter was really meaningful. I also didn't fully absorb the absence of fire in the world, which I think really adds a level of excitement and danger to it. Yeah.
That was something that was challenging.
Yeah,
that was
really?
something that was challenging for me as an actor, I think. I mean, we had such a limited rehearsal time. So
6 rehearsals.
Come on, off-book, fully blocked. Are you kidding me?
Wild
We came in day 1 and Gray went, so we do want this fully staged and fully off book.
Well,
And
so
went,
what I said was,
I was like, I love you, okay.
if you, I said, read the script. I said, you're gonna see that you won't be able to look at each other the entire time. And I went, we can do that. I went, but I feel like you're not gonna want to. And then they read and they went, no, we don't want to do that. And I went, yeah, exactly. I knew you wouldn't.
But placing those stakes on the fire, especially because, I mean, we used a lighter because we can't use matches in this space. Shout out the Chicago Fire.
The show or the organization?
The organization.
Okay, Pierce.
But that was a unique challenge, placing such a level of taboo and danger on such a common, pretty safe item. That was a lot of fun, and again, not something I get to do very often in shows.
I also thought it was really interesting because that is how it starts, and that sets the tone for the world that we are living in and everything. And it's okay, fire is banned, what else is going on? And I think the rules of that particular world were really interesting because there's that stage direction about the world as we know it, but maybe a little more obsessed with ancient Egypt. And I thought that was kind of, it could almost be a throwaway, but obviously it so is not. Yeah, no, I love that play. That was fabulous. Is there anything else y'all wanna chit chat about?
Can we give a round of applause to the writer? Right
Yeah. Yeah. Sign the Traveler? Sign Traveler?
I was giggling.
Good?
Wait, see, will you swap seats with me really quickly?
Oh my god.
Oh, you guys are good.
I don't have to move.
Musical chair. So I love that. That was delicious and delightful. That water stain does not look like the Virgin Mary at all.
Did I hold it upside down?
No. You held it the right way. It just fundamentally does not.
Oh.
Disclaimer, I'm Jewish.
That, you know, is a fair point.
I will own up to that. My only real familiarity with religious iconography is that episode of Always Sunny. There's a water stain that looks like Jesus or something. It's very good. So I really loved the. Sorry. Context. How many times have you done this show before? Is this? How long have you been developing this?
I took a class online during the pandemic called First Person Singular with Joni Drago, who is a really great writer, who was employed at the Kennedy Center. But
Did something happen?
they were teaching about solo performance and trans visibility, and guess what? So I started working then. I mean, it's been a really long time. I did a version of it during Rhino Fest. This version is new and different. I wanted to reapproach it, and I was really lucky enough to get to work with Lucky.
No pun intended.
Every pun intended.
Damn right.
I didn't even think about it. But I was really glad to work with Lucky there.
I love that. How did you two sort of like, I don't know how else to say this. How did you two sort of like bridge a gap over like being at different places in life and like different life experiences?
This was not even a problem because every reference that I have.
Yeah.
We have the exact same reference.
I love that.
So like it was funny actually going into the room, like reading through it and thinking like I know every single one of these pieces.
I love that.
So it was really like a shared mindset the whole time through.
That's
Which
fabulous.
was great. We didn't have a bridge to cross because we were both on the bridge already.
I love that so much. Yeah, I adored that. I thought the inclusion of the live music was so excellent and lovely. You have a lovely voice.
Right?
Yeah, I really shout out. So I don't know if y'all have noticed this. You definitely have. But I feel like Peter Pan is really a popular motif among trans and queer people.
Peter's for sure hot with the trans folks, for sure.
And there's also something referred to as like the trans mass gift of eternal youth. Some people in the room can speak to that. But yeah, I guess why do you think Peter Pan resonates so deeply, and why has he been such an enduring little twink?
He took them away. He took them away from the world that they lived in, the mundane world that they lived in, rich people in Victorian England.
Exactly.
But he took them away, and they escaped to this sort of imaginary world. I mean, I think that's what it is. It's a fantasy that you couldn't really live. I don't know. And also, there was something when I was a kid about the fact that Mary Martin got to dress up like a boy. Because when I wanted to dress up like a girl, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
But it was okay for Mary Martin for some reason.
Yeah. No, I mean, not even just, I know you know this, but it is so commonplace for a girl to play Peter Pan. Like, it was written that way. It's the norm, literally. I also was really struck by, I love the fact about Wizard of Oz, about how there only being one exterior shot. I also feel like your story really centers authenticity. So where do you sort of find the blend between authenticity and this like hyper artificial world of like candy colored MGM, and like how does that make you feel authentic even though it is so man-made or person-made, transgender?
I don't know. What's the answer to that?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That just really struck me.
You know,
it's about escape. I mean,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
like Peter Pan, it's about escape. They're in a different version of this show with different pieces. You know, it's a work in progress. It's a living show. There's more focus on Wizard of Oz. I'm all my tattoos are Oz, and I'm Oz obsessed. So.
Oh, and this isn't just like the movie. This is like the deep
Books
lore.
on this side, movie on this side. Yeah.
Wait, what'd you just?
We just wanted to
They were
see.
just leaving. Oh.
I'll show you. So for me, it was an escape. I grew up in this. I always say I grew up in Jesus and football, South Carolina, because those were the two most important things, and football was by far the most important, and then Jesus. And and there was also this weird thing in the South where if a woman had a husband and 3 children, she could be butch as a quarterback. And that was great. But if a man was the least bit feminine in the South, it was, So, The Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan musical theater, Oklahoma. These were all like big escape things for me. And And fortunately, I had understanding parents who I love. I think they're watching, or one of them's watching. But my mother understood that I needed to escape, and she allowed that at times. But then at other times, she's like I talked about in the story, if she saw something feminine, it really freaked her out. Not because she had a huge problem, but because she knew that the world did. I also grew up with a gay uncle, and he was much beloved in our family, but she knew how badly he had been treated as a child. So she wanted me to avoid that, but I wasn't going to. I'm also not trans. I am non-binary.
You're under the umbrella.
Yeah.
Under the yes.
Come sit with us under the umbrella. I'm also non-binary. No, I think that there's a fundamental cultural vitriol toward anything feminine. And I think that is why it is okay for a woman with 3 kids to be, in your own words, butch as a quarterback. But the instant a man shows any sort of femininity, it's sort of very punished, because there's this fundamental demeaning of like feminine energy and feminine roles, and it's really interesting. And I think we are almost out of time, but my sort of one last question is, I was really struck by sort of how many lives you lived and how many lives you talked about, but there's obviously this real core of self-knowledge and like authenticity. And I guess sort of, how do you keep yourself at the forefront when you're sort of going in and out of all these identities? Because you have a really strong sense of self, and I feel like we just experienced that, but...
Well, you're seeing this point, and there's a lot of growth. There are a lot of mistakes. There are a lot of bad preconceived notions that I've, like when the idea of non-binary first popped up and the they/them pronouns popped up, I was hesitant at first, and then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, that's me. That's me exactly. I feel like I've always fit in between those two worlds.
Yeah.
But it's growth. It's all the 35 years that I've lived plus 21 more.
Yes. God bless. God bless. Lucky, did you have anything you wanted to add, my dear?
No, I just think, there's something about connecting the last 2 questions that you asked. There's something about like crafting a self that is true out of artifice that anybody who has, we're literally standing on a stage right now, and we all picked our outfits to be here, and I think that there's something that is sometimes more true about that because we made it and because we're standing in it. And so like all of these identities, throughout the years, were all just pieces that have, now come together and enveloped the Anthony that you see before you. So
sometimes the realest thing you can be is an amalgamation of a bunch of fake stuff.
That's
Am
so
I right?
real.
Thank you so much for sticking around. Give it up for our lovely panel one more time. We have one more day of this lovely festival left. Please, thank you so much for Genderfuck for having me. I'll be doing another talk back tomorrow. Come join us. Thank you so much. Get home safe.